Have you ever felt like something in the world just doesn't add up? Like you're told over and over again that success is the product of hard work, education, and playing by the rules. But no matter how hard you try, it always feels like something's missing. The job you've worked years to get doesn't bring fulfillment. The degrees on your wall don't seem to matter when you're applying for jobs. And that path to success seems like it's reserved for everyone except you. It's not just you. In fact, the truth is, much of what we call success or even just doing things the right way is a scam. Not a scam in the traditional sense, where someone's stealing from you or running an outright fraudulent operation, but a scam in the sense that it's built on systems that profit from the illusion of success rather than its substance. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone get rewarded simply for looking the part, or speaking the right language, or wearing the right clothes, even when the substance just isn't there? This isn't just the corporate world. This is life. This is how most industries work. There's a system in place, and it's designed to keep the real players, the people who can make a real difference, outside the game. And it's all built on illusions, built on optics, marketing, and social performance. But here's the kicker. Once you realize the truth behind this system, once you see that it's all a show, you start realizing that you don't need to play by its rules. In fact, you can take it down from the inside out. Let's dive in. You'll be shocked at what's actually going on behind the curtains. First off, let's talk about the educational system. We're taught that college is the golden ticket, the thing that will separate you from the masses, make you more valuable, and set you on the path to success. But here's the dirty little secret. College is a luxury signal. It's less about what you learn and more about who you meet, what you look like, and where you came from. For instance, how many graduates walk out of college with hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt, only to find that the degree they've just earned doesn't even make them more employable than someone without one? Don't get me wrong, education is important. But the game isn't about knowledge, it's about positioning. Do you know the right people? Do you have the right branding? Can you present yourself as someone who is qualified? It's not just about what you know anymore. It's about how well you can package that knowledge, how well you can sell your story. You're paying for a network, not an education. You're buying a seat at the table, not a degree in a field that will necessarily help you. Think about all the people who go into debt for an education that doesn't deliver on its promise. But here's the truth. They never really needed it. They needed connections. They needed to learn how to perform. And for many, that performance becomes more important than the work itself. That's scam number one. The education system as a luxury good, not a value creator. Next up, let's talk about the corporate world. We've all been told the story: get a job, work hard, climb the corporate ladder, get the promotions. But let's be real. How many people actually find fulfillment in their corporate jobs? How many people feel alive when they walk into the office every day? Corporate work isn't about finding your purpose anymore. It's about playing the game. It's about navigating office politics. It's about knowing the right people, saying the right things, and making the right moves. The work itself, sometimes it doesn't matter at all. If you're working in a large corporation, how many meetings could have been emails? How many reports were written just to make sure something got done, even when it didn't really need to be done? How many projects exist just to justify someone's position? The reality is this: much of the corporate world is one big performance. It's not about creating real value or solving real problems. It's about looking busy and making sure you're constantly in motion. Because if you stop moving, someone might notice that you're not actually contributing anything worthwhile. This brings us to the next scam: bullshit jobs. There's this concept floating around called bullshit jobs, roles that exist purely to maintain the illusion that work is being done. And honestly, most people are working in these kinds of roles without even realizing it. How many companies are filled with mid-level managers who are just busy all day long, moving papers around having endless meetings and pushing deadlines without ever really making anything happen. This is scam number 2, corporate busy work that doesn't lead to real change. Now, let's talk about the influencer economy. We've entered an age where being seen, being out there, is more valuable than actually doing the work, where influencers make millions of dollars by selling an image, a brand, a persona, without doing anything that remotely resembles the hard work most people do to earn an income. Think about it. How many influencers are out there who have never actually created anything valuable? They make money simply by creating an image of success. They sell a lifestyle, not products. They sell a version of reality that doesn't actually exist, and they profit off the people who buy into that narrative. They're not teaching anyone anything. They're not solving problems. They're simply capitalizing on the illusion of wealth and success. And the worst part is, it works. This is scam number 3, the lifestyle economy built on illusion. Let's now address the financial world. Wall Street, hedge funds, and banks. They've built entire industries on creating and managing illusions of value. They sell debt as an asset. They trade things that don't exist. They manipulate the market for profit, and they get away with it. Ever heard of quantitative easing? That's just a fancy term for printing money. The central banks print more money and pump it into the economy, inflating prices, devaluing savings, and creating bubbles that will eventually burst. But when the bubble bursts, the people at the top make billions, and the rest of us are left holding the bill. Hedge funds? They're the kings of this game. They make money regardless of whether the market goes up or down. Because they're playing the long game, they bet on every possible outcome and profit from every scenario. And they use their connections to get the inside scoop on what's really going on. Ever heard of George Soros? He made $1 billion in a single day by betting against the British pound. And he did it by exploiting the very systems that were supposed to protect the economy. Hedge funds are proof of scam number 4, the financial system that profits from everyone else's loss. But here's the most insidious scam of all, politics. Politicians sell us the idea that they're working for us, that they're fighting for our rights and improving our lives. But in reality, most politicians are working for the people who fund their campaigns, not the voters who elect them. They make deals behind closed doors. They prioritize their own self-interest and the interests of their donors over the interests of the public. Take a look at any major political campaign. The candidates say whatever they think will get them elected. They make promises they never intend to keep. They spin their words to create an image of change, all while doing everything they can to maintain the status quo. It's all just a performance, and we're the ones paying for it. That's scam number 5, democracy as a staged reality show. And now, here's where we flip the script. What if you could see through all these scams? What if you could identify the systems that are working against you and choose to operate outside of them? Because here's the thing, once you realize the game is rigged, you don't have to play by the same rules. You can step outside of the illusion. You can start building something real, something that's not built on false narratives or fake success. How? By understanding the real game that's being played and taking control of your own narrative. By opting out of the performances and focusing on what actually matters. By building a life that doesn't need to rely on illusions. It's not easy, but it's possible. And the people who break free from these systems, the ones who can see through the scams and navigate outside the structures, they're the ones who create real value. They build lasting legacies. The real work is done off script. The real lives are lived in the spaces where the performances end. And when you see the system for what it truly is, you can start making your own rules. You can take your power back. So next time someone tries to sell you the idea of success, ask yourself, does it feel real? Or is it just another scam?